Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sianda Mbigashe. I am a pre-sales engineer within Sage. Today, joining me will be Mr. Red Davis, along with Chantal from Direct Hire, one of our preferred tech partners from a recruitment or applicant tracking solution perspective. So during the course of this 30 minutes, we will unpack some insights that we've gathered over 1,000 businesses across UK, Ireland, and South Africa. We'll also go into a high-level overview of Sage 300 People, as well as a demo, along with our tech partner feature, where Direct Hire will take us through the recruitment solution. And then we'll conclude the session in terms of any insights that we've gotten from our customers, along with the short poll and a Q&A. So we surveyed over 1,000 payroll and HR leaders across UK, Ireland, and South Africa, and we got some really interesting insights into the current reality that our customers are facing. So the businesses that we surveyed range between 20 to 2,500 employees, and these insights really speak to the current lived reality of HR administrators. So HR is no longer an administrative role. It is a strategic role. It doesn't mean that HR has completely abandoned admin. It means that it's layered strategic responsibility on top of it. So that tension that sits at the heart of almost every challenge is what we will also discuss today. So you'll notice there on our slide, we've got some key insights where 71% of HR professionals are battling with increased workloads. And for the sake of AI, leaders are worried that AI might take away from compliance and data security, and we're here to reassure you. So leaders really want tools that will improve accuracy, reduce risk, and protect trust. And this brings us to our Sage 300 People proposed solution. So from a market footprint perspective, we are backed by a global experience, 40 years in the market. We are servicing well over 65,000 customers across Africa and Middle East. We operate within 44 African countries. So all of the icons or the tiles that you see in green there, so these are the core modules of the legislation that we build as Sage. The ones in blue and in gray, Sage and the experience partner ecosystem, which is the business partners, will help with setting up those tax files. So at the moment, we are currently generating well over 13 million payslips per month within South Africa, and we are trusted by some well-known brands. So for my coffee in the morning, I go to Wimpy. I can sleep at Radisson Blue knowing that they are Sage customer. But even the biggest auditing firms are trusting Sage with their payroll and HR needs. So if you look at the bottom slides there, we have Deloitte, Ernst & Young, and PwC. And on the bottom right, we also have a nice insight from one of our customers who operates within the SADC region, along with South America, operating in Brazil and Chile. So what does this solution offer? What is Sage 300 People? So Sage 300 People is a modular application. At the core is our core HR and payroll module. So if you refer to the image on the left, so we have our core payroll module, which has baked-in compliance. You can add custom calculations, run what-if scenarios. If my employee has been in the company for 7 years, then increase salary by 7%. We can then add modules on top of that. Sage proprietary modules, of course, like employment equity, skills management, personnel for your HR needs. And then we can also expand that into job management, which segues nicely into the next layer, which is our tech partners. So this is where Direct Hire would actually sit and integrate with Sage from a job management, making sure that all of the candidates that are successful are successfully integrated into our payroll. And the last layer is our experienced business partner. And at the core is our customers. You are ring-fenced within this ecosystem. So Sage 300 People at the core is a modular application, as we mentioned. But you also have multiple deployment options. So you can have it on the managed cloud services environment or on the cloud, which is managed by Sage. So this means that all of the latest updates, the latest releases from a compliance perspective, Sage will manage that for you. Or you can have the option of it being partner hosted or hosted on your own service. Now we can schedule things like notifications, reminders, schedule reports that need to go out to the relevant stakeholders. We can also customize reporting using our report writer, which is called DevExpress. And we can also specify the security that is applied to the different administrators. So why do companies trust Sage 300 People as their preferred solution? So Sage 300 People, as we said, is a fully integrated payroll, HR, and ESS solution. So it really delivers exceptional business efficiency without compromising on security and controls. So you have one database, unlimited legal entities, and rules infused into one single source of truth. So really, Sage 300 People is a powerful, highly configurable and scalable solution with unlimited history, allowing you to mine data on the go using historical information for trend analysis, decision making, or even molding new ideas. With Sage 300 People, it really gives you that ability to think outside of the box. No longer will you be confined to a system that has limitations. Now you can think about, if I terminate an employee, I can simply reinstate them. Their ID remains the same. Maybe some things may change, like the gender or the dress or the context, but that entity or that employee record stays on the system for life. Now we can reinstate that employee in a new legal entity or in the same old legal entity and account for any break-in service calculations. With our seamless integration with other platforms like Direct Hire, we will be able to seamlessly feed into those downstream tools where we can have Sage 300 People as your core data. And then from there, we can feed information into Direct Hire for our recruitment. We also have standard reports from a payroll, HR, and ESS perspective. So we have well over 210 standard reports with a global view of all companies. So as we said, these reports can be scheduled or automated, and you can also apply the frequency there. Lastly, from a security level, we can also set up this down to the field level to say that CR can't access this particular screen, but also he can't see the salary field within that screen. So we can cater for multi-legislation, multi-currency, and multiple languages. So with our core features, we have rapid deployment, of course. So this provides us with a faster, intuitive, tailored solution. This will help you alleviate or avoid potential errors where hours are lost to manual tasks and really automating and streamlining business processes. So within Sage, we call that the stream methodology. So the system really offers you an agile and innovative payroll and HR solution, which is really the best in class for your business's needs. So with Sage 300 People, it also gives you the ability to empower and connect with your employees effectively across the employment journey. This really provides employees with those tools to help them, and the managers to take responsibility of a variety of HR functions. And this speaks to our next section, which we will go into, which is the employee journey. So with the employee journey, we will be going into the employee self-service module. So the employee self-service module really empowers employees and managers alike. I will be able to log in using a username and password. And by extension, I do also have a mobile app where my employees can also apply for leave online, download their pay slips on there, and also view their personal details. We also have some exciting items on our roadmap, like embedding AI into our mobile app where the employee can speak with an AI assistant. How many leave balances do I have? My net pay is down from last month. What could be the issue? And that sends the administrator an email directly, and the administrator will be able to interact with the co-pilot as well. But let's log in as a manager so that we have a 360-degree view of what is happening within the organization. So firstly, I will be able to view a leave trend analysis. So on there, I can go into the Tuesday and see who has taken the most leave on a Tuesday. I can see the Thursday there, I have 9 annual leave days. It's also the same person there. So I can already see what is happening from a leave management perspective. And if we go into our shared calendar here, I will be able to see any leave transactions that are currently sitting awaiting to be approved. And I can also view any public holidays or training that has been assigned to the employees. Now I can export this to iCal so that I have my out of offices, or to my Google Calendar. I can view the upcoming birthdays for my team members and also view any submitted leave items or claims within the system. Now, this process automation, I will simply be able to highlight the days I want to apply for leave for. It takes me to the leave application form. I can specify which leave type I want to apply for. I can see my available days, and I can also embed attachments. So think about a leave policy document that the employee is supposed to be aware of. And within the form itself, I can make certain fields mandatory. So if we are saying, see here, you need to specify why you're going on sick leave, and you need to put your doctor's name and their practice number along with an attachment, and only then will the system allow you to apply for leave. We can also embed rules like if Sia is applying for leave, it needs to take into account any carried over leave. He needs to take that leave first before going into the accrued leave. If Sia has leave that is due to expire, the system should send out notifications and reminders about that leave. We can also hide balances wherever we're seeing that leave is being seen as a target. Let's hide those, but still empower the employees to be able to apply for that leave. We can now extend this over to claims again, where we can submit overtime. We can also automate claims processes that are HR related. SIA needs to go in there and say, yes, I have read the latest company policy and I do accept these terms and conditions. And this would act as my digital signature in terms of those claims. Employees are also empowered through the ability to update their personal details and also upload supporting documentation. We can also manage information like bank detail changes with a full report that will allow the manager to see what information did SIA go into the system and change. I can also update, my family details, designate an emergency contact there, specify the relationship and the title, and I would also be able to later link that to the beneficiaries of my medical aid, my provident fund. The system will give us those validations to say it must equal to 100%. I can also embed those attachments, remember, on across the system. So this will really allow me to empower the employees. And then lastly, from an employee self-service perspective, we said that we have unlimited data history. So this means that if I want to view payslips from 5 years ago, I would be able to go into the system and generate those payslips. So I will do the date range leading up to the end of the month. And there we go. The system will go as far back as when I first started accumulating data. And this also bears relevance to our tax certificates as well. No longer will I have to stress about employees leaving the company and saying they want tax certificates. We said we have over 200 standard reports which can be available to the administrators and the managers, but we also said that we can also embed custom reports like a confirmation of employment letter, like an increased package letter or a bonus letter. This will really allow the employees to be empowered with the ability to view these documents before we do the increase, before we do the bonus, and then from there I will be able to export into these different formats. Now, lastly, as we hand over to the direct hire team, and this really speaks to the job management functionality that also exists within the context of the system. So as part of the core functionality of ESS is our job requisition module. So with the job management, you will be able to create job families. So there are my job families. I want to say that, okay, I now want to hire a manager. So this functionality will be limited in terms of who can access it. Only certain administrators are allowed to do a requisition. So pulling from my job management, where I've already defined the job roles, I've defined the specs of that job role in terms of, the KPIs, the KPAs, the items that will be issued for that particular role, the succession planning of that particular role. That's all of these are all of or some of the parameters that we can embed in there. So if I then say, okay, this is the role that we want to fill, then the system will automatically populate some of the fields, like the reports to field, the company role, as in the payroll where that job will be allocated, and also the legal entity that that job will be based in. And then from there, we have our job specifications, our requirements for that particular role, the motivation as the manager as to why do I want to fill this vacancy, and also uploading any supporting documentation. So once I had done that, I submit it, it goes through to the line manager to approve. And then from there, once it's been approved, it then feeds into the direct hire module. So from an admin perspective, I can see all of the staff requisitions, where are they currently sitting, who requested those requisitions, and when is the fill or the vacancy dates there. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now and go back to our PowerPoint presentation, where we just want to give a high level overview again of the direct hire solution. So as we said, direct hire sits within the tech partner ecosystem. So as you can see, we do have a few tech partners that bluster and integrate with Sage 300 people. So today we'll have a few minutes with direct hire, and this really speaks to the value proposition around being able to integrate with downstream tools like recruitment solutions, onboarding solutions that really facilitate the end-to-end life cycle of the employee. So with direct hire, you really get your entire recruitment toolbox in one platform. So you have, an established enterprise applicant tracking solution. It has accessibility for all stakeholders, and very important from a security perspective, it is designed with the market specifications or alignment to Sage in terms of the security standards. It is designed for HR, and they've been in the market since 2010. And this system really manages the entire recruitment life cycle. So it is highly configurable, of course, with a mobile app embedded on there. So some of its clients, of course, without taking their shine, of course, you have Aspen, you have Fly Safari, you have Footgear, F3 on there as well, and with a long list of customers and clients that are currently on direct hire. So if we go into the next section, they've also conducted their own study in terms of the survey findings or case study findings, where 65% less cost per hire, there's 40% less admin, and a 50% hiring time, or 55% rather. So really, with direct hire, you're not just getting a recruitment solution, but you are also getting a recruitment toolbox. So this toolbox really speaks to us being able to source candidates, assess candidates, automate the recruitment process, and also leverage off of the expertise from the direct hire team. So from the sourcing, we have sourcing management. We can also do candidate experience. We can manage our referrals so that when Sia refers a candidate, he can get an email to say, thank you, Sia, for referring this candidate. We can also manage agencies as well. So if you do have your recruitment outsourced, direct hire will also be able to manage that. Now, with automating our applicant tracking, we have advanced reporting. We also manage the onboarding along with the integration into Sage 300 people. Now, we need to be compliant in terms of the POPI Act, of course. So direct hire also fits into that mold. So in terms of POPI compliance, labor relations, and also risk assessments, along with the recruitment best practices, are baked into the solution itself. So really, you are getting an end-to-end solution which fits into the ecosystem like a glove, like us being able to do background checks, being able to do validations in terms of the employees' IDs, their experience, and that integrates seamlessly with Sage. We can also integrate with Power BI solutions, of course, and also with our social media applications. So you are getting a fully integrated ecosystem, and there are no data silos in that regard. And then lastly, from a sourcing and advertising perspective, we have our careers website, of course. We can also do internal referrals. So within the company, if we do have employees who want to refer candidates, if we want to share those job posts with social media applications, we can do that. But at the core of it, we have our Job Central, our organic feeds. So this is where we advertise those roles. CareerJet, Glassdoor, Indeed, and also the premium portals, of course, like Biz Community, PNet, and Careers 24, along with an agency portal, as we said there, to ensure that if we do have this outsource, we can manage this correctly within the context of the system. Now, in terms of the Job Central, this is what it will look like in terms of the end goal. Once you do have your direct hire, of course, you will be able to see your jobs by location, by industry, and by company. But very importantly, Sia, how does this feed into Sage? And I think that's the most important question. And there we have an overview in terms of, the boxes in green, that is Sage. And as we said, once the job has been approved by the manager, it then moves into direct hire, where the HR receives a notification of the approved job on direct hire, and then HR engages with that job role. So we can do interviews, pre-screening questions, video interviews, and then we publish the job, of course. The advert is published to the different sources. The applicants go through the application process, the reviews, we rate them, we rate the applications, and then we send that back to HR in terms of the applicants. So this entire funnel, it starts from Sage, it goes into direct hire, and then from direct hire, the new starter is onboarded into Sage. All of that information is pushed directly into Sage within the context of this integration. And this also speaks to, the different types of profiles that we will have, because, with that screen, we are taking the view of, the system architecture, but we also have user profiles within Direct Hire, where you will be able to go in as a recruiter, as a candidate, as an agency, and also as the line manager to be able to take the employees through that funnel. Now, in terms of what you're seeing on your screen at the moment, so these are the dashboards that you will get as soon as you land into the direct hire solution. So you've got your jobs. I can see how many candidates have been successful, how many jobs have been frozen, withdrawn, or rejected, and the ones also in workflow. So I can go into much more granular detail in terms of that information. So how many jobs are in the workflow? How many have been published? Apologies, I see that someone is unmuted. I think
it's no one's unmuted. But I just want to say, maybe I don't know if Rex or Chantal from Direct Hire would like to jump in on anything to add to what you said.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks. I didn't want to mess with Sia's rhythm there. He's been doing a great job. But yeah, I think Sia, we can continue from that slide you're on, and I think we can just bring it home there. But essentially, yeah, I think the gist of it has been covered. Direct Hire essentially would facilitate the entire recruitment process within the platform once it's been received in through Sage via ESS. The job as it appears in ESS or in Sage will be pushed through to Direct Hire. On the following slide, we'll see that you're able to then set up screening questions for that specific vacancy. So the Direct Hire screening capability will enable you to set up job-specific questions that the candidates will be presented with during the application process. You can set them up to auto eliminate or simply score the candidate, depending on what policy allows internally. This also applies to both internal and external job pages that we provide in direct hire. You also have a host of other additional assessment tools available to you to set that up. Once we've loaded that, we get a quick preview of the advert copy that's going to go out. Once we're happy with that, we can save and move over to the next view there, which would be our dashboard, and all of the different components of direct hire where we've integrated into your advertising platforms will be visible here. So your internal, external websites, social media pages, any job portals you've got activated, any print media that you'd want to generate links or QR codes for, or third parties, you're able to manage it from here, as well as selecting any third-party vendors that you'd like to send that out to. Once we submit that through, we then essentially would be pushing that job out to all of our various channels. What we're going to scroll through on screen now is just a view of the external page that we provide to you. We call it our EVP page. It's your employer value proposition page. We customize this around your employer brand. We're able to add your staff testimonials, video content, written content, all of the different aspects about your company and what makes you a unique employer and an employer of choice. Similarly, when we move forward to the other channels that we distribute through to, you're welcome to keep moving along there, Sia. Thank you. You're able to highlight all of the different aspects about the company, as well as, most importantly, having your job board set up where candidates can view jobs and apply for them. Important note, during the application process, we do ensure that candidates agree to relevant terms and privacy policies as part of that process to ensure that that's date and time stamped from a public compliance standpoint. The candidate will then undergo screening, will be notified to opt in to receive notifications. We also give you the option to refer candidates internally on your internal board if you have any type of referral incentive program running. And what direct hire essentially will do at that point is deal with the response handling, flag candidates that are most suitable. You've got the option to auto-regret candidates that aren't with personalized email, so that what you left with in the system are candidates that have been vetted by direct hire. You can focus in on the candidates that have a higher rating. You can then go into those profiles, interrogate those profiles a bit more closely across different staging areas from application long to shortlist, view the information they provided, any documents that they submitted. You can even interact with these candidates directly through the native chat app that we've got built into direct hire. In addition to that, you are able to run all of your recruitment workflow through direct hire, either in a singular fashion or in bulk, whether it be long listing, short listing, regretting, scheduling interviews. You also have the ability to schedule one-way video interviews with direct hire. That'll send a link to the candidate, activate their microphone and camera via their web browser. They can answer questions, record those, submit those back into direct hire so that you get a really well-rounded view of that candidate. All of the candidate notifications, whether you're regretting a candidate, are always personalized, branded in your branding, just to make sure that we're aligning to that employer brand. You also have the ability to schedule interviews through direct hire, download those interview invites into Google Calendar, iCal, or Outlook Calendar, and we interface with any verification provider you may be using. We have standard integration with the leading vendors in SA, but we're able to link your account up so you can actually run background checks on candidates right through the platform itself, taking it all the way through to you extending the offer out to a candidate to onboard that candidate, and then obviously submit that information back into direct hire. In addition to that, we provide you with a wealth of reports that essentially tracks in real time all of the various components of your workflow, very detailed reports, user-friendly, variety of different dashboards. Those reports can also be exported into multiple formats. We do visualize the data for you within the application, have a number of different filtering criteria that you can utilize so that you can really get an informed picture of what is happening in your recruitment processes and in your hiring environment to help optimize and tweak those aspects going forward there. I think we are running low on time, so I think just in terms of closing this out, I don't know if we've got time to go to a Q&A, Thando, but I think just a very high-level view of the system here. Obviously, if you'd like to dive in deeper and see more of the system, I think the sales team will definitely be able to assist in arranging that for you. Yeah, I think we've got a poll running there, Thando. I don't want to overstep there. If you want to take over there.
No, that's perfect. Thank you so much, Rhett. We'll just let the poll run for another 10 seconds and then we'll close it. Sia, Rhett, there's no further questions from the chat. So I think, Sia, we're going to end the poll now and you can just close out the session for us, please.
Thank you so much, and thank you to everyone who attended today's session, and also thank you to the direct hire team. I hope I didn't steal your thunder, but yes, I do see that there's a lot of interest from a customer perspective. Let's have those engagements. Let's see how we can automate your HR processes and really alleviate that administrative burden, and you can focus on, managing your employees and engaging them on a personal level. Thank you so much and have a lovely day further.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks. Yeah, great job. Appreciate it. Cheers.